Food from Tender Buttons. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Corey Samuel. Tender Buttons by Gertrude Stein. Food. Roast beef. In the inside there is sleeping, in the outside there is reddening, in the morning there is meaning, in the evening there is feeling. In the evening there is feeling. In feeling anything is resting, in feeling anything is mounting, in feeling there is resignation, in feeling there is recognition, in feeling there is recurrence, and entirely mistaken there is pinching. All the standards have steamers, and all the curtains have bed linen, and all the yellow has discrimination, and all the circle has circling. This makes sand. Very well. Certainly the length is thinner, and the rest, the round rest, has a longer summer. To shine. Why not shine? To shine. To station. To enlarge. To hurry the measure, all this means nothing if there is singing. If there is singing, then there is the resumption. The change, the dirt. Not to change dirt means that there is no beefsteak, and not to have that is no obstruction. It is so easy to exchange meaning. It is so easy to see the difference. The difference is that a plain resource is not entangled with thickness, and it does not mean that thickness shows such cutting. It does mean that a meadow is useful and a cow absurd. It does not mean that there are tears. It does not mean that exudation is cumbersome. It means no more than a memory, a choice and a re-establishment. It means more than any escape from a surrounding extra. All the time that there is use, and any time there is a surface, there is a surface, and every time there is an exception, there is an exception, and every time there is a division, there is a dividing. Any time there is a surface, there is a surface, and every time there is a suggestion, there is a suggestion, and every time there is silence, there is silence, and every time that is languid, there is that there then and not oftener, not always, not particular, tender and changing and external and central and surrounded and singular and simple and the same and the surface and the circle and the shine and the succor and the white and the same and the better and the red and the same and the centre and the yellow and the tender and the better, and all together. Considering the circumstances, there is no occasion for a reduction. Considering that there is no peeling, there is no occasion for an obligation. Considering that there is no outrage, there is no necessity for any reparation. Considering that there is no particle sodden, there is no occasion for deliberation. Considering everything and which way the turn is tending, considering everything, why is there no restraint? Considering everything, what makes the place settle, and the plate distinguish some specialities? The whole thing is not understood, and this is not strange, considering that there is no education. This is not strange, because having that certainly does show the difference in cutting. It shows that when there is turning, there is no distress. In kind, in a control, in a period, in the alteration of pigeons, in kind cuts and thick and thin spaces, in kind ham and different colours, the length of leaning a strong thing outside not to make a sound, but to suggest a crust. The principal taste is when there is a whole chance to be reasonable. This does not mean that there is overtaking. This means nothing precious. This means clearly that the chance to exercise is a social success. So then the sound is not obtrusive. Suppose it is obtrusive, suppose it is. What is certainly the desertion is not a reduced description. A description is not a birthday. Lovely snipe and tender turn, excellent vapour and slender butter, all the splinter and the trunk, all the poisonous darkening drunk, all the joy in weak success, all the joyful tenderness, all the section and the tea, all the stouter symmetry. Around the size that is small, inside the stern that is the middle, besides the remains that are praying, inside the between that is turning, all the region is measuring and melting is exaggerating. Rectangular ribbon does not mean that there is no eruption, it means that if there is no place to hold there is no place to spread. Kindness is not earnest, it is not assiduous, it is not revered. Room to comb chickens and feathers and ripe purple, room to curve single plates and large sets and second silver, room to send everything away, room to save heat and distemper, room to search a light that is simpler, all room has no shadow. There is no use at all in smell, in taste, in teeth, in toast, in anything, there is no use at all and the respect is mutual. Why should that which is uneven, that which is resumed, that which is tolerable, why should all this resemble a smell? A thing is there, it whistles, it is not narrower, why is there no obligation to stay away, and yet courage is everywhere and the best remains to stay. If there could be that which is contained in that which is felt, there would be a chair where there are chairs, and there would be no more denial about a clatter. A clatter is not a smell. All this is good. The Saturday evening, which is Sunday, is every week-day. What choice is there when there is a difference? A regulation is not active. Thirstiness is not equal division. Anyway, to be older and ageder is not a surfeit nor a suction. It is not dated and careful. It is not dirty. Any little thing is clean. Rubbing is black. Why should ancient lambs be goats, and young colts, and never beef? Why should they? They should, because there is so much difference in age. A sound, a whole sound is not separation. A whole sound is in an order. Suppose there is a pigeon. Suppose there is. Looseness. Why is there a shadow in the kitchen? There is a shadow in a kitchen because every little thing is bigger. The time when there are 4 choices, and there are 4 choices in a difference. The time when there are 4 choices, there is a kind and there is a kind. There is a kind. There is a kind. Supposing there is a bone. There is a bone. Supposing there are bones. There are bones. When there are bones, there is no supposing there are bones. There are bones, and there is that consuming. The kindly way to feel separating is to have a space between. This shows a likeness. Hope in gates, hope in spoons, hope in doors, hope in tables, no hope in daintiness and determination. Hope in dates. Tin is not a can, and a stove is hardly. Tin is not necessary, and neither is a stretcher. Tin is never narrow and thick. Colour is in coal. Coal is outlasting roasting and a spoonful. A whole spoon that is full is not spilling. Coal, any coal, is copper. Claiming nothing, not claiming anything, not a claim in everything, collecting claiming, all this makes a harmony, it even makes a succession. Sincerely gracious one morning, sincerely graciously trembling, sincere in gracious eloping, all this makes a furnace and a blanket. All this shows quantity. Like an eye, not so much more, not any searching, no compliments. Please be the beef, please beef, pleasure is not wailing. Please beef, please be carved clear, please be a case of consideration. Search and neglect. A sale, any greatness is a stall, and there is no memory, there is no clear collection. A satin sight, what is a trick? No trick is mountainous, and the colour, all the rush is in the blood. Bargaining for a little, bargain for a touch, a liberty, an estrangement, a characteristic turkey. Please spice, please no name, place a whole weight, sink into a standard rising, raise a circle, choose a right around, make the resonance accounted and gather green any collar. To bury a slender chicken, to raise an old feather, to surround a garland and to bake a pole splinter, to suggest a repose and to settle simply, to surrender one another, to succeed saving simpler, to satisfy a singularity and not to be blinder, to sugar nothing darker and to read redder, to have the colour better, to sort out dinner, to remain together, to surprise no sinner, to curve nothing sweeter, to continue thinner, to increase in resting recreation, to design string not dimmer. Cloudiness, what is cloudiness? Is it a lining? Is it a roll? Is it melting? The sooner there is jerking, the sooner freshness is tender, the sooner the round it is not round, the sooner it is withdrawn in cutting, the sooner the measure means service, the sooner there is chinking, the sooner there is sadder than salad, the sooner there is none do her, the sooner there is no choice, the sooner there is a gloom freer, the same sooner and more sooner, this is no error in hurry and in pressure and in opposition to consideration. A recital, what is a recital? It is an organ and use does not strengthen valour, it soothes medicine. A transfer, a large transfer, a little transfer, some transfer, clouds and tracks do transfer, a transfer is not neglected. Pride, when is there perfect pretence? There is no more than yesterday and ordinary. A sentence of a vagueness that is violence is authority and omission and stumbling and also certainly also a prison. Calmness, calm is beside the plate and in way in. There is no turn in terror. There is no volume in sound. There is coagulation in cold and there is none in prudence. Something is preserved and the evening is long and the colder spring has sudden shadows in a sun. All the stain is tender and lilacs, really lilacs, are disturbed. Why is the perfect re-establishment practised and prized? Why is it composed? The result, the pure result, is juice and size and baking and exhibition and nonchalance and sacrifice and volume and a section in division and the surrounding recognition and horticulture and no murmur. This is a result. There is no superposition and circumstance. There is hardness and a reason and the rest and remainder. There is no delight and no mathematics. Mutton. A letter which can wither, a learning which can suffer and an outrage which is simultaneous is principle. Student, students are merciful and recognized they chew something. Hate rests that is solid and sparse and all in a shape and largely very largely. Interleaved and successive and a sample of smell, all this makes certainty a shade. Light curls, very light curls, have no more curliness than soup. This is not a subject. Change a single stream of denting and change it hurriedly. What does it express? It expresses nausea. Like a very strange likeness and pink, like that and not more like that than the same resemblance and not more like that than no middle space in cutting. An eyeglass, what is an eyeglass? It is water. A splendid specimen, what is it when it is little and tender so that there are parts? A centre can place and four are no more and two are not middle. Melting and not minding, safety and powder, a particular recollection and a sincere solitude, all this makes a shunning so thorough and so unrepeated, and surely if there is anything left it is a bone. It is not solitary. Any space is not quiet, it is so likely to be shiny. Darkness, very dark darkness, is sectional. There is a way to see in onion, and surely, very surely, rhubarb and a tomato. Surely, very surely, there is that seeding. A little thing in is a little thing. Mud and water were not present and not any more of either. Silk and stockings were not present and not any more of either. A receptacle and a symbol and no monster were present and no more. This made a peace show, and was it a kindness? It can be asked, was it a kindness to have it warmer? Was it a kindness, and does gliding mean more? Does it? Does it dirty a ceiling? It does not. Is it dainty? It is if prices are sweet. Is it lamentable? It is not if there is no undertaker. Is it curious? It is not when there is youth. All this makes a line. It even makes no more. All this makes cherries. The reason that there is a suggestion in vanity is due to this, that there is a burst of mixed music. A temptation, any temptation, is an exclamation if there are misdeeds and little bones. It is not astonishing that bones mingle, as they vary not at all, and in any case, why is a bone outstanding? It is so because the circumstance that does not make a cake and character is so easily churned and cherished. Mouse and mountain and a quiver, a quaint statue and pain in an exterior and silence more silence louder shows salmon a mischief intender. A cake, a real salve made of mutton and liquor, a specially retained rinsing and an established cork and blazing, this which resignation influences and restrains more altogether. A sign is a specimen spoken. A meal in mutton, mutton, why is lamb cheaper? It is cheaper because so little is more. Lecture, lecture and repeat instruction. Breakfast. A change, a final change includes potatoes. This is no authority for the abuse of cheese. What language can instruct any fellow? A shining breakfast, a breakfast shining, no dispute, no practice, nothing, nothing at all. A sudden slice changes the whole plate. It does so suddenly. An imitation, more imitation. Imitations succeed imitations. Anything that is decent, anything that is present, a calm and a cook and more singularly still a shelter, all these show the need of clamour. What is the custom? The custom is in the centre. What is a loving tongue and pepper and more fish than there is when tears, many tears are necessary? The tongue and the salmon. There is not salmon when brown is a colour. There is salmon when there is no meaning to an early morning being pleasanter. There is no salmon. There are no teacups. There are the same kind of mushes as are used as stomachers by the eating hopes that makes eggs delicious. Drink is likely to stir a certain respect for an egg cup and more watermelon than was ever eaten yesterday. Beer is neglected and coconut is famous. Coffee, all coffee, and a sample of soup, all soup, these are the choice of a baker. A white cup means a wedding. A wet cup means a vacation. A strong cup means an especial regulation. A single cup means a capital arrangement between the drawer and the place that is open. Price a price is not in language. It is not in custom. It is not in praise. A coloured loss. Why is there no leisure? If the persecution is so outrageous that nothing is solemn, is there any occasion for persuasion? A grey turn to a top and bottom, a silent pocketful of much heating, all the pliable succession of surrendering makes an ingenious joy. A breeze in a jar, and even then silence, a special anticipation in a rack, a gurgle, a whole gurgle, and more cheese than almost anything. Is this an astonishment? Does this incline more than the original division between a tray and a talking arrangement, and even then a calling into another room gently, with some chicken in any way? A bent way, that is a way to declare that the best is altogether. A bent way shows no result. It shows a slight restraint. It shows a necessity for retraction. Suspect a single buttered flower. Suspect it certainly. Suspect it and then glide. Does that not alter a counting? A hurt mended stick, a hurt mended cup, a hurt mended article of exceptional relaxation and annoyance, a hurt and mended is so necessary that no mistake is intended. What is more likely than a roast? Nothing really, and yet it is never disappointed singularly. A steady cake, any steady cake is perfect and not plain. Any steady cake has a mounting reason, and more than that, it has singular crusts. A season of more is a season that is instead. A season of many is not more a season than most. Take no remedy lightly, take no urging intently, take no separation leniently, beware of no lake and no larder. Burden the cracked wet soaking sack heavily, burden it so that it is an institution in fright and in climate and in the best plan that there can be. An ordinary colour, a colour is that strange mixture which makes, which does not make a ripe juice, which does not make a mat. A work which is a winding, a real winding of the cloaking of a relaxing rescue. This which is so cool is not dusting, it is not dirtying in smelling, it could use white water, it could use more extraordinarily and in no solitude altogether. This which is so not winsome and not widened and really not so dipped as dainty and really dainty, very dainty, ordinarily, dainty, a dainty, not in that dainty and dainty. If the time is determined, if it is determined and there is reunion with that then outline, then there is in that a piercing shutter, all of a piercing shouter, all of a quite weather, all of a withered exterior, all of that in most violent likely. An excuse is not dreariness, a single plate is not butter, a single weight is not excitement, a solitary crumbling is not only martial. A mixed protection, very mixed, with the same actual intentional unstrangeness and riding, a single action cause necessarily is not more a sign than a minister. Seat a knife near a cage and very near a decision and more nearly a timely working cat and scissors. Does this temporarily and make no more mistake in standing? Spread it all and arrange the white place. Does this show in the house? Does it not show in the green that is not necessary for that colour? Does it not even show in the explanation and singularly not at all stationary? Sugar. A violent luck and a whole sample and even then quiet. Water is squeezing. Water is almost squeezing on lard. Water is a mountain and it is selected and it is so practical that there is no use in money. A mind under is exact and so it is necessary to have a mouth and eye-glasses. A question of sudden rises and more time than awfulness is so easy and shady. There is precisely that noise. A peck, a small piece, not privately overseen, not at all, not a slice, not at all crestfallen and open, not at all mounting and chaining and evenly surpassing, all the bidding comes to tea. A separation is not tightly in worsted and sauce, it is so kept well and sectionally. Put it in the stew, put it to shame. A little slight shadow and a solid fine furnace. The teasing is tender and trying and thoughtful. The line which sets sprinkling to be a remedy is beside the best cold. A puzzle, a monster puzzle, a heavy choking, a neglected Tuesday. Wet crossing and a likeness, any likeness. A likeness has blisters, it has that and teeth. It has the staggering blindly and a little green, any little green is ordinary. 1, 2 and 1, 2, 9, second and 5 and that. A blaze, a search in between, a cow, only any wet place, only this tune. cut a gas jet uglier, and then pierce in between the next and negligence. Choose the rate to pay and pet very much. A collection of all around, a signal poison, a lack of languor and more hurts at ease. A white bird, a coloured mine, a mixed orange, a dog. Cuddling comes in continuing a change. A piece of separate outstanding rushing is so blind with open delicacy. A canoe is orderly. A period is solemn. A cow is accepted. A nice old chain is widening. It is absent. It is laid by. Cranberries. Could there not be a sudden date? Could there not be in the present settlement of old age pensions? Could there not be by a witness? Could there be? Count the chain, cut the grass, silence the noon and murder flies. See the basting undip the chart, see the way the kinds are best seen from the rest, from that and untidy. Cut the whole space into 24 spaces, and then is there a yellow colour. There is, but it is smelled. It is then put where it is, and nothing stolen. A remarkable degree of red means that a remarkable exchange is made. Climbing altogether in when there is a solid chance of soiling no more than a dirty thing, colouring all of it in steadying is jelly. Just as it is suffering, just as it is succeeded, just as it is moist, so is there no countering. Milk. A white egg and a coloured pan and a cabbage showing settlement, a constant increase. A cold in a nose, a single cold nose makes an excuse. 2 more are necessary. All the goods are stolen, all the blisters are in the cup. Cooking. Cooking is the recognition between sudden and nearly sudden, very little and all large holes. A real pint, one that is open and closed and in the middle is so bad. Tender colds, seen eye holders, all work, the best of change, the meaning, the dark red, all this and bitten, really bitten. Guessing again and golfing again and the best men, the very best men. Milk. Climb up in sight, climb in the whole utter needles, and a whole guess is hanging. Hanging. Eggs. Kind height, kind in the right stomach with a little sudden mill. Cunning shawl to be steady. In white handkerchiefs with little dots in a white belt, all shadows are singular, they are singular and procured and relieved. No, that is not the cow's shame and a precocious sound, it is a bite. Cut up alone the paved way which is harm. Harm is old boat and a likely dash. Apple. Apple plum, carpet steak, seed clam, coloured wine, calm scene, cold cream, best shake, potato and no gold work with pet. A green scene is called bake and change sweet is bready. A little piece, please. A little piece, please. Cane again to the presupposed and ready eucalyptus tree. Count out sherry and ripe plates and little corners of a kind of ham. This is use. Tails. Cold pails, cold with joy, no joy. A tiny seat that means meadows and a lapse of cuddles with cheese and nearly bats. All this went messed. The post placed a loud loose sprain. A rest is no better. It is better yet. All the time. Lunch. Luck in loose plaster makes holy gauge and nearly that, nearly more states, More states come in town, light kite, blight not white. A little lunch is a break in skate, a little lunch so slimy. A west end of a board line is that which shows a battle beneath, so that necessity is a silk under wear. That is best wet. It is so natural, and why is there flake? There is flake to explain exhaust. A real cold hen is nervous with a towel, with a spool, with real beads. It is mostly an extra soul, nearly all that shaved with an old mountain, more than that bees, more than that dinner and a bunch of likes, that is to say the hearts of onions, aim less. Cold coffee with a corn yellow and green mass is a gem. Cups. A single example of excellence is in the meat. A bent stick is surging, and might, all might, is mental. A grand clothes is searching out a candle, not that weetly, not that by more than an owl and a path. A ham is proud of cocoanut. A cup is neglected by being all in size. It is a handle, and meadows, and sugar, any sugar. A cup is neglected by being full of size. It shows no shade. In come little woodcuts, and blessing, and nearly not that not, with a wild bought in, not at all so polite, not nearly so behind. Cups crane in. They need a pet oyster, they need it so hoary and nearly choice. The best slam is utter. Nearly be freeze. Why is a cup a stir and a behave? Why is it so seen? A cup is readily shaded. It has in between no sense, that is to say, music, memory, musical memory. Peanuts blame. A half sand is holy and nearly. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is Susan, not seat, in bunch, toys, not wild, and laughable, not in little places, not in neglect, and vegetable, not in fold, coal age, not please. Single fish. Single fish, single fish, single fish, eggplant, single fish, sight. A sweet win, and not less noisy than saddle, and more ploughing, and nearly well painted by little things so. Please shade it a play. It is necessary, and beside the large sort is puff. Every way Oakley, please prune it near. It is so found. It is not the same. Cake. Cake cast in went to be, and needles, wine needles, are such. This is to-day. A can experiment is that which makes a town dirty. It is little please. We came back. Two bore what? A must ash when there is tin. This meant cake. It was a sign. Another time there was extra a hat pin sort long, and this dark made a display. The result was yellow. A caution, not a caution to be. It is no use to cause a foolish number. A blanket stretch a cloud, a shame, all that bakery can tease, all that is beginning, and yesterday we had it met. It means some change. No some day. A little leaf upon a scene, an ocean anywhere there, a bland, and likely in the stream a recollection green land. Why white? Custard. Custard is this. It has aches when. Not to be narrowly. This makes a whole little hill. It is better than a little thing that has mellow, real mellow. It is better than lakes, whole lakes. It is better than seeding. Potatoes. Real potatoes cut in between. Potatoes. in the preparation of cheese, in the preparation of crackers, in the preparation of butter, in it. Roast potatoes. Roast potatoes 4. Asparagus. Asparagus in a lean too hot. This makes it art, and it is wet, wet weather, wet. Butter. Boom in, butter. Leave a grain and show it. I spy. It is a need that a flower, a state flower. It is a need that a state rubber. It is a need that a state rubber is sweet and sight and a swelled stretch. It is a need that state rubber. Wood a supply. Clean little, keep estrange on it. Make a little white, no and not with pit on in within. End of summer. Little islets that have hammer and a check with stripes between a lounge, in wit, in arrested development. Sausages. Sausages in between a glass. There is reed butter. A loaf of it is managed. Wake a question. Eat an instant. Answer. A reason for bed is this, that a decline, any decline is poison. Poison is a toe extractor. This means a solemn change. Hanging. No evil is wide. Any extra in leaf is so strange and singular a red breast. Celery. Celery tastes, where in curled lashes and little bits and mostly in remains. A green acre is so selfish and so pure and so enlivened. Veal. Very well. Washing is old. Washing is washing. Cold soup clear and particular and a principal question to put into. Vegetable. What is cut? What is cut by it? What is cut by it in? It was a cress, a crescent, a cross, and an unequal scream. It was upslanting. It was radiant and reasonable, with little inns and red. News capable of glees, cut in shoes, belike under pump of wide chalk, all this combing. Waylay vegetable. Leaves in grass and mow potatoes, have a skip, hurry you up flutter. Suppose it is X a cake, suppose it is New Mercy and leave Charlotte and nervous bedrose. Suppose it is meal. Suppose it is Sam. Cooking. Alas, alas the pull, alas the bell, alas the coach in China, alas the little put in leaf, alas the wedding butter meat, alas the receptacle, alas the back shape of muscle and soda. Chicken. Pheasant and chicken. Chicken is a peculiar third. Chicken. Alas, a dirty word. Alas, a dirty third. Alas, a dirty third. Alas, a dirty bird. Chicken. Alas, a doubt in case of more go to say what it is cress. What is it? Mean. Potato. Loaves. Chicken. Stick, call then. Stick, sticking. Sticking with a chicken. Sticking in a extra succession. Sticking in. Chain boats. Chain boats are merry. A merry blue west. Carpet. Pastry. Cutting shade. Cool spades and little last beds. Make violet when. Cream. In a plank, in a play sole, In a heated red left tree there is shut in specks, with salt, beware. This makes an eddy. Necessary. Cream. Cream cut. Anywhere crumb. Left hop chambers. Cucumber. Not a razor less, not a razor, ridiculous pudding, red and relet put in, rest in a slender go in selecting, rest in white widening. Dinner. Not a little fit, not a little fit sun sat in shed more mentally. Let us why wait, let us why winter chess, let us why weigh. Only a moon to soup her, only that in the cell never never be the cocups nice be, shatter it they lay. Egg ear nuts, look about. Shoulder. Let it strange, sold in bell next herds. It was a time when in the acres in late there was a wheel that shot a burst of land and needless a niggers and a sample set of old eaten butterflies with spoons, all of it to be our fled and measure make it, yet all the one in that we see where shall not it set with a left and more so. Yes, there add when the longer not it shall the best in the way when all be with when shall not for therewith see and chest how for another excellent and easy excellent and easy express ec, all to be nice, all to be no so, all to be no so, all to be not a white old chat churner, not to be any example of an edible apple in. Dining. Dining is west. Eating. Eat-ting. Eating a grand old man said Ruth and never re-soluble burst. Not a near ring, not a bewildered neck, not really any such bay. Is it so a noise to be is it a least remain to rest? Is it a so old say to be? Is it a leading our been? Is it so? 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 Eel us with no pea cool, no pea cool cooler, no pea cooler with a land cost in, where the land cost in stretches. Eating he heat it eating, he heat it heat eating. He heat eating. A little piece of pay owls such as pie, bolsters. Will leap beat, willy well all. The rest oxen occasion to be so purred how. It was a ham, it was a square come well, it was a square remain not it a bundle so is a grip to shed bay leave draught, bay leave draw cider in low and George is a mass. Eating. It was a shame to stare and double and relieve be cut up, show as by the elevation of it and out more in the steady where the come and on and the all the shed and that. It was a garden and below's straight. It was a pea pour it in, it's not a succession, not it a simple, not it a so election with. Salad. It is a winning cake. Sauce. What is bay laboured, what is all be section, what is no much. Sauce Sam in. Salmon. It was a peculiar bin, a bin fond in beside. Orange. Why is a feel oyster an egg stir? Why is it orange centre? A show at tick and loosen it, so to speak, sat. It was an extra leaker with a sea-spoon. It was an extra liquor with a sea-spoon. Orange. A type OO, new, not no, not Nealer of old show beefsteak, neither. Oranges. Billed is all right. Orange in. Go lack, use to her. Cocoa and clear soup and oranges and oatmeal. Whist bottom, whist clothes, woodling. Cocoa and clear soup and oranges and oatmeal. Pain soup. Suppose it is question, suppose it is butter, real is only excreate a no since. A no since when, a no since when since, 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 a no 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 since. Salad dressing and an artichoke. Please pale hot, please cover rose, please acre in the red stranger, please butter all the beefsteak with regular feel faces. Salad dressing and an artichoke. It was please, carriage cup in an ice cream. In an ice cream it was too bended with scissors, and all this time. A hole is inside a part does go away, a hole is red leaf. No choice was where there was and a second. A centre in a table. It was away a day, this made some sum. Suppose a cod liver is an oil, suppose a cod liver oil is tunny, suppose a cod liver oil tunny is pressed, suppose a cod liver oil tunny pressed is china and secret with a bestow reed, a reed to be a reed to be, in a reed to be. Next to me, next to a folder some waiter, next to a folder some waiter and re-letter and read her with her for less. End of food.